This is Algebra 2, Lesson 5, having to do with word problems and fractional parts of a number. Word problems are everyone's favorite. That's just a cheap way of saying story problems. And gosh, story problems are just one of those things that you just have to work on over the years, and pretty soon you start getting them. But so many folks just really struggle with these. So we're going to kind of go over some of the clues, and I know you did this last year, come up with some of the clues, but let's look at example 5.1. Twice a number is decreased by 7. Twice what number? Well, exactly. So we're going to call that what number x. So twice a number is decreased by 7. So if a number is decreased by 7, 7 is taken away from it. So there's what we've got. Twice a number is decreased by 7. And this quantity, so this quantity is multiplied by 3. So we're going to multiply that quantity by 3. The result, when we do all of this work, the result is, which is an equal sign, 9 less than 10 times the number. Again, there's the number. 9 less than 10 times. Well, this is 10 times the number. And we're taking 9 less than that and setting it equal to the left-hand side. And that ends up giving us the problem. Then we just do our algebra. 6x minus 21, 10x minus 9, and I'll let you continue on with that. And you get your number that you're looking for as being the number -3. If we continue on with this, we've got some ducks. MR ducks. Example 5.2. Number of ducks on a pond was doubled when the new flock landed. Okay, so how many did we start with? We don't know. So we're just going to call it X. The book calls it N subscript D for number of ducks. But so you can do that if you want. It doesn't really matter. X is just easier to write. So the number of ducks was doubled when the new flock landed. So new flock comes in, and we have 2 times. Then 7 more ducks came. Whoa. Okay, so now we have 2x plus 7. The resulting number of ducks, when we put that all together, so the resulting number was 13 less than 3 times the number. Well, 3 times the number, and then it said how many less? 13 less. And we get that. And then we go ahead and do the math, and we should come up with 20. So let's see what we do. Let's take away 2x there, 2x there. We have 7 equals x minus 13. Add 13, add 13, and we get 20 ducks to start with. And then we're done. So let's look at 5.3. It says the sum of -7 and 6 times a number. 6 times a number. So the sum of -7 and 6 times a number. So if we add -7 to 6 times a number, that sum is multiplied by 5. The result is, whenever you see that, the result is, put an equal sign. 330 less than 3 times a number. So we have 3 times a number, and it says the result is 332 less than that. So let's go ahead and solve this. I'm going to turn these around a little bit. I'm going to do this. Distribute. Add 35 to both sides. And I get 30x equals 3x and minus 297. Bring this over, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides. So I get 27x equals -297. Go ahead and divide that by 27. So divide by 27, divide by 27, and that gives me negative 11, and I'm done. So let's look at 5b, fractional parts of a number. When we multiply a number by a fraction, like 2/3 times 30, we're taking a fractional part of the number. So if we take 2/3 times 30, we get 60 over 3, which is equal to 20. So what that's saying is that 2/3 of 30 is 20. Remember, 2/3 of, the word of means multiply. So 2/3 of 30 is 20, means that 20 is 2/3 of that. So if we have, as example 5.4 says, 1/5 of the clowns had red noses. So 1/5 had red noses. So 1/5 of the total clowns had red noses. Well, how many were there total? Well, we don't know. But we do know that 1/5 of the total, and I'll call that x, is going to equal, what do they say? 30. So 1/5 x, 1/5 of the total is 30. So if I divide both sides by 1/5, because 1/5 was multiplied by x, that's the same as inverting and multiplying. So x equals 30 times 5, which is 150. So there were 150 total clowns. So let's look at 5.5. 7/8 of the Tartar horde rode horses. So 7/8 of the Tartar horde, the group of Tartars, so 7/8 of that total group rode horses. There were 140,000 in that horde. So 7/8 of that total horde of 140,000. So we know x, that total horde was 140,000. So 7/8 of them rode horses. There were 140,000 total. How many did not ride horses? Well, 7/8 did ride horses, so if we multiplied that, 7/8 times 140,000, we would get 122,500 that rode horses. They're interested in how many did not ride horses. So now we just take our total, 140,000, subtract how many rode horses, and we get 17,500. Another way we could do it is, this is how many rode horses. So the fraction that did not ride horses is 7/8 did, then only 1/8 did not. So we could have taken just 1/8 times 140,000 and gotten the same answer as well. So either way is fine. So that's problem set, or lesson 5.